It actually looks kind of nice though. Now you connect them.
Holy shit, where are we?
What the fuck am I doing, dude? Okay, let's start with basics. So one camp gives you 4 CS. This is important for tracking because when you divide the number of CS that this guy has by 4, you're gonna get the amount of camps that they've cleared, and you can make an educated guess as to where he's been and where he hasn't been. This is mostly relevant early game based on the timing that he has and based on where he's on the map and based on the minute that it is on the upper left. You can most likely tell with certainty what he did. If you think that he full cleared and did scuttle and then he shows mid but he has 20 CS, you know that he didn't do that. You know that he most likely did 4, 8, and 12, 16, 20. So he skipped wolves and raptors. Whatever, it's just an example. You would probably not skip raptors and wolves, you would probably skip raptors and krugs. So you do like this, and then you would know what the enemy jungler is doing. Now keep in mind that the CS number doesn't update until you see them, so you cannot just press tab and keep track of when he's finishing camps. That will be extremely overpowered and very unskilled. Jungle camps respawn after 2 minutes and 15 seconds. It used to be 2 minutes, but they nerfed it because of the Udyr Hecarim jungle full clear meta that they didn't like. Let's assume that we don't know where the enemy started because we see that nobody leashed on either side. Nobody leashed. This is pure jungle versus jungle. We don't have any information on the jungler. We don't have anything at all. How can we know where the enemy jungler is? There's no way we know, right? Well, you cannot know for certain, but you can make a guess. Let me explain. Let's just say these are 2 junglers that like to full clear and they do it at similar speeds, okay? Even though you don't know where they started, you can look at your own position to figure out where they are. Because at any given moment, they can only be at 2 possible places. Let's say you do red, krugs, and raptors, and then you're heading to the wolves. Now you don't know where the enemy jungler started. There's no way you can know where he is, right? Well, we can guess. So based on how much time it takes you to do this, and get to here, based on how much time it takes you, there's only really 2 possibilities where he could be. Number 1, he also started red, which means that he is in the exact same position you are, but on the opposite side of the map. So they would be right there. That's possibility number 1. Possibility number 2, which is going to take more practice, is that they started on the opposite side of the map. Now, Krugs takes longer to do than these 3 camps. So like red side takes longer to do than blue side. This is a fact. I don't think I'm discovering the fire to anyone. So you could guess that they've done 3 camps. They're not in the same position as you are because they're faster. And they are probably doing raptors while you're almost on your way to start wolves. This is because, again, krugs take more time. This is one of the reasons why a lot of people skip krugs on first clear, because it's very, very slow. We can see that the red side jungler is either here or here. There's only 2 possible places where they could be. Obviously, in reality, it's much more complex than that. But I'd say that this is a good baseline. So even though you have never seen this guy, you know exactly that he's either here doing raptors or here on his way to wolves. And if he's on his way to wolves, he's going to make his way down and full clear and end up in bot scuttle. And if he's on his way up, he's going to be doing raptors, then he's going to do this, and end up at top scuttle, and you're both going to be here at the same time potentially. Now this is where lane priority comes in. If you have lane priority in mid and you have lane priority in top, this is not contestable for the enemy jungler because your laners are going to move first and their laners will have waves from their tower which they cannot leave, or they are ending the game. So what this guy should do, if you have prio, is that he should 1, either modify his pathing, or 2, give up double scuttle. You don't really want to give double scuttle, so what you would do is you would modify your pathing. How do we do that? Okay, well, it's very simple. Let's say you are red side jungler. Actually, no, let's say you're blue side jungler and enemy red side has priority. let's say they have priority in all lanes. Actually, no, let's say they don't have priority in bot, they have priority in mid, and they have priority in top. So you're basically alone, right? You only have a bot lane. It makes sense that you, as a jungler, would start top and make your way down the bot, right? But this is not always the case, because things don't always turn out the way you expect. Maybe this bot lane wasn't supposed to get prio, and maybe this top lane was, right? This is a scenario that can happen. Maybe the top laner, like, we're human, right? The top laner might be taking a bad trade, or maybe he fucks something up, or I don't know. Maybe the enemy top laner is just better, or doesn't know the matchup that well, so he's playing more reserved. There could be a lot of factors that could go into this. So let's say you're blue side jungler. You have neutral state in bot. Enemy has prio in mid, and enemy has prio in top. Theoretically, you wanted to start bot, and you don't know where this guy is. But you know that you cannot contest top scuttle by any means. So what you can do is you can modify your pathing by doing the following. You can do red, straight to blue, then straight to wolves, and then run to raptors, and then to scuttle. What you do in this instance is you modify your efficiency. You get less efficiency, but you get more EV. EV equals expected value. You are going to clear slower. You are going to take a path that's not optimal, but you ensure that you get your resources. And this is something that is very important for farming junglers against these ganking junglers, or these junglers that are better early, like, I don't know, Lee Sin, Olaf, and all those junglers that are not going to be full clearing and are looking to either gank lanes or invade you in your own jungle. What you have to do is you have to avoid. After scuttle, importantly, you would have to do Krugs, because otherwise you end up with Grump and Krugs up, which is the worst case scenario, because you don't have any clear pathing. You have the middle camps respawning, and you cannot really path efficiently even if you wanted to. Clearing your entire jungle normally after first clear is around 1 minute 10 to 1 minute 30. It's around that. There are obviously some junglers, like when you play Brand jungle or Jayrad jungle or Karthus, Fiddlesticks, Evelyn, those junglers can clear in like insane speeds, like 30 seconds, 45 seconds. Very broken, but let's not get into that. 2 to 3 waves is what it takes for the jungler to full clear. This means that you as a laner, if this was like professional, knowing which camps are respawning and in which order, you could modify your lane state to favor either a dive, a gank, or nothing at all. Maybe help him contest with prio, help him contest scuttle, and whatnot. This requires the laner to think 2 to 3 waves in advance. Think about what they will do rather than what they are doing right now. Think about what's the lane state going to be like in the future rather than what it is like right now. And this is something that not a lot of people do. Okay, so let's say you take 130 to clear. Then you take 8 seconds to back. And you take, I don't know, around 15 seconds to go back to the first camp, right, from base. This equals, oh my god, I might have to do math, 53. And, as we said, respawn timer, 215. You, as a full clear jungler, have time to clear your jungle and have 22 seconds to spare. And with those 22 seconds, you can do plenty of stuff. Obviously, this is all based on estimates, not on actual in-game scenarios, because there are so many champions in the game and there are so many variables that you cannot work with every single one of them. It's impossible. What you have to do is you have to create estimates, and then if you know your champion very well, you know which windows you can utilize to maybe gank or go for scuttles or go for just full clear, right? Does it take you 22 seconds to do Dragon or Herald? Takes you a bit longer, which means that doing Dragon or doing Herald are both wasting time if we're keeping only jungle camps in mind, right? Why is it important to have good jungle respawn timers? Why is it important? There's this mechanic in the jungle where once you hit level 9, you get increased experience from camps. Once you get increased jungle XP, you, as a jungler that is level 9 and probably has a mythic item, you would imagine that level 9 you have a mythic item in the jungle, you can start clearing faster, getting more XP, and getting further ahead from your opponent. This is why farming junglers are better than ganking junglers. And this is a fundamental in the game, where if people play correctly, and if the enemy jungler plays correctly, any advantage that you will find here in ganking bot, or in ganking mid, or in diving top, or whatever the fuck you want to do, is not going to be enough for you to stop the enemy jungler and to stop the other people from winning the game. Before anybody says I'm expecting people to play perfectly, you can literally just go back a few minutes in the VOD and me saying that we're accounting for mistakes from top lane and from bot lane. Does anybody have any questions about jungling? Because I don't know what to talk about now. Because what I can talk about now is lane stuff. Because it's important for the jungler to know the state of each lane and how each lane is going to play out. Which is why jungling is the hardest role. Because you have to know jungling, and you have to know laning. And you have to know matchups for every single lane. Jungling is the easiest to Lamau, just full clear on repeat and NA ram it post 15 to 20 minutes. Okay, thank you, Pat. Incredibly insightful. Let me talk about something that a lot of people don't actually do in professional play, which is optimizing your jungle pathing. Something that you should be looking to do as a jungler because of exactly what we've talked about before. If you can optimize your jungle clear, and this takes like not much time in the practice tool. You can practice it for an hour, maybe an hour and a half, and then you're gonna be like clearing optimally on your champion, provided you're a professional player. Okay, provided you're this is all in context of professional play. If you're dreaming from platinum, you're probably gonna have to do a bit more work on your mechanics. The difference between clearing in 320 and clearing in 3.09 is massive. 11 seconds in the jungle is fucking insane, because it allows you to do so much. It allows you to be first to scuttle, modify your pathing to, for example, bot scuttle. Maybe look for an earlier gank. Maybe path through mid. It's something you can do because mid always gets fucking fucked by jungle. There's so many options you have as a jungler if you clear faster, which is why when we're assessing jungle picks, and when in patch notes I say the buff depends on how much it impacts the clear, like Kiana, right? When we were looking at the Kiana buff, I was saying the buff is as big as what it impacts on the clear, because junglers that are assassins like Kiana, like Zed, like Talon, like Kha'Zix, like Rengar and whatnot, really depend on getting first an early Dirk, and second, good clear. Because if you have good clear, means you can go for more plays around the map, and when you can go for more plays around the map, you rely on snowball because you're an assassin, so you can snowball further. In solo queue, yes, you can force skirmishes. In pro, you're gonna see that assassins are generally forced to full clear the jungle and act as a threat more than an actual champion. This is something that you will see if you check out the VODs from, I think it was last summer when people were playing Kha'Zix. You would see that when people were playing well, the Kha'Zix wasn't actually a champion, it was a threat. I don't know if that makes sense. But the fear of getting one-shot by Kha'Zix was greater than the champion himself. And this stems from bad play, because if you are used to playing against Kha'Zix, you're more likely to know what you can and cannot do against them. You're more likely to notice patterns in the way that Kha'Zix plays, and you're more likely to do fine against Kha'Zix precisely because of practice. So Kha'Zix, Shaco are two of the champions that come to mind where they either stem from bad play or from people not being used to playing against them. Evelyn's different because we're not talking about purely stealth here. Because
Wow.
Evelyn's stealth is not her biggest asset, if that makes sense. Evelyn is strong because she can full clear very, very fast. She can one-shot people, which means she's an actual threat, and she can do good damage in various different ways. It's not only one-shots. I would rank Evelyn below Karthus Fiddlesticks and some other junglers that are in the meta. How would you rank the new AD Assassin junglers Talon, Kiana, Zed? I think Zed number 1, 2nd Talon, and 3 Kiana. Amumu is better in jungle than in support because Amumu needs items. Now, Amumu is very good when you have Warden's Mail. That is correct. But for 1,000 gold, you're not full build. You need damage. Because otherwise, you're just a sin fucking duck. You're just a CC bot. And we already know that CC bots are not good. Because CC bots that engage and do nothing else are fucking garbage. Because they get zoned off by real comps. Man. Okay, let's make a... No, let's not do that. Okay, I'll say this. Amumu is the best of the engaged supports, but engaged supports are garbage. That's gonna be it for today. Hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like and subscribe and comment and follow me on Twitch, follow me on Twitter, and yeah, whatever, that's it. Oh, hello at penis. How are you doing at penis? At penis. Fuck you, pussy.